Hi everybody, this is Matthew Kenslow, and I'm still quite relieved of what just happened. This never happened in the past almost 3 years of this YouTube channel. I got an email the other day from YouTube, and it said, based on community guidelines, my video was flagged for review and subsequently removed. No penalties, no strikes or anything like that. And I'm like, what? The video was Santa Claus Comes to Elementary School via Police Helicopter, December 11th, 2001. This is an event that happened when I was in first grade, and I believe I remember the event. It was the highlight of the year to see this huge monster flying helicopter land at my school. That's all I really cared about. And it was basically Santa Claus coming, and Mrs. Claus too. And then we had a little tour of the helicopter and all that. But I posted this video here like a couple of years ago, and for some reason some troll just took that randomly and flagged it to YouTube. Now I put troll in quotes because, well, I believe they're real human beings, they have real lives and such, and just need to be shown love and support. Well, anyway, I believed in my heart that it didn't violate anything, it wasn't a bad video whatsoever, so I appealed it on YouTube. I took a look at their guidelines, and I wrote back to them. Well, this is just a summary. This is most of it, not all of it. I said, this is a harmless, kid-friendly video about Santa Claus coming to cheer up an entire school of children. Everybody's happy. No reason why it was flagged, and I was actually surprised that they didn't agree, because if it's flagged, they're supposed to watch it, right? And if they watched it, then they'd realize, well, there's nothing wrong with this whatsoever. So my suspicion is that it was flagged and then YouTube robots just deleted it. Of all the videos being flagged probably every second, I mean, can people who work at YouTube watch every single one of them? I just don't, or maybe it was just a mistake. I have no idea. I'm not accusing. But going off your guidelines, I continued, that there's categorically no harassment, cyberbullying, harmful or dangerous content, injury, suicide, spam, scams, fake engagements. I'm my own person. I'm not impersonating anybody. This is my channel. And it's just a obvious mistake of a harmless Christmas school event for kindergarten to second graders. There's no promotion of suicide, self-injury, drugs, smoking, drinking, or anything, violence, hate speech, none of that. So I waited a couple of days, and I got the email today, and it said, thank you for submitting your appeal to YouTube, and after further review, we have reinstated your video. And at that point, my entire being almost just dropped and such. I mean, in a good way. I mean, I was very relieved. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, they actually like reviewed it and reinstated the video. And you know, to tell you the truth, I just went in assuming that I just had an assumption that they weren't going to do that. And I had that assumption because in the past I've disputed copyright claims, like not strikes. I've never had a strike, thank God. But I appealed it, and not every time, but most of the time, they rejected the appeal, even though when I appealed it, I was in the right, basically. I mean, there was nothing I did that was copyright infringement or anything like that. So I'm like, I'm not going to fight it. I don't have a strike or anything or hindrance on my account. So anyway, that's why I just had this assumption. When I saw that I got an email, I was preparing myself for the worst, which I usually do, because there's tons of things that I do and submit that are right or with a generous heart, and I just get rejected a lot of times. Not all the time, but a lot of times. Because all I want to do in this lifetime is just to be a help, and that's my prayer. In fact, I think I did have this in a YouTube video, but I prayed, one of my new prayers is, Lord, please help me to help the helpless when I feel helpless to help them. And you know, I go out and I post on social media, I contact news organizations all around social media, including email as well, and they either never get back with me or they just reject me, and all I want to do is just be a help. And I thought, you know, being a royalty published author, that would help, but a lot of people just, you know, reject that fact and such, and the fact that my book's getting tons of 5-star reviews, and being a help to people in every continent except Antarctica. I have reviews all around the world, including India. There was a story about me in Panama. There's tons of people from the United Kingdom that's reaching out to me on my Facebook page, just saying how much I'm helping them understand what autism and Asperger syndrome is like. And I don't really care about money or houses or cars or anything. I just want from my heart to be a help. So if you're watching this, in which there's only maybe 5 or 10, sometimes like 20 or more views on every one of my videos anyway, but if you happen to be watching this, I invite you to share, because I'm not like one of those YouTubers that tell you like, share, subscribe or anything. I don't want you to do that if you don't want to. If you want to, please, I invite you to just share. Maybe you know somebody in the news industry, newspaper industry, podcast industry, or anything like that. Some people, all they want to do is just have money. Like, they become motivational speakers or tell their experiences, and they really want more money than more, wanting to help. I'm not saying everybody. I'm definitely not saying everybody. But I, for one, completely care the littlest about money. Almost, well, pretty much 0% of my worries is money. I told a person who took down my information so that she could take it to the Capistrano School District so that I could come and be a juggler, speaker, motivator, and such. She asked me, like, could you please add how much you charge? And I'm like, believe me, I'd be happy to do this at no charge. And she complimented on that, and I guess put it in her book. So I'm awaiting something from the Capistrano School District for like an invitation to just be an encouragement and such. Sort of ironic that, in my book I mentioned Newport Mesa Unified School District cover to cover many times, in all its schools, by name, many times. And I've only been invited to speak at Newport Harbor High School, and then I never heard from them again. And then the COVID occurred, so they have a lot of other things on their plate. So I was also going to speak at Corona del Mar for like a movie night that they're having about special needs and autism, but that was canceled because of COVID and all that. So anyway, I'm just rambling now. So from my heart, YouTube, if you ever watch this, thank you so much, the YouTube team, to reinstate my video. I really appreciate it. And for everybody else, just stay strong, stay blessed, stay encouraged, because you have a purpose and a calling. If God could use me, a person with autism and Asperger's, one of the worst incurable mental conditions that you could have, and again, incurable, susceptible to bullying, teasing, exploitation, hatred, and discrimination and such. I mean, if I'm here and I've never given up and I've achieved what I've achieved thus far to help people, then certainly you could do the same, however you're called to do. And I'm not saying go out and royalty publish a book or earn a degree in chemistry or learn how to juggle 5 or play the piano or anything. Everybody has a different calling. There's millions of people that do things that I don't think I could ever do in my life, like skateboarding, surfing, BMX, or anything like that. So more power to you if that's your passion, and that could be a way to communicate. I use juggling and a science demo to communicate, and you could use something like a trick that you know how to do on a bicycle or on a skateboard or surfboard or something else, and use it, get a point across to people, especially children and teens. That's where I feel I'm called to be, to help with children and teens, but other people are called to other age groups, and some people are called to every age group. And I'm for encouraging everybody, but I emphasize with the youth, the children and the teens, through Royal Rangers and the youth ministries at Lighthouse Community Church. So anyway, that's my video. Again, I can't say this enough because I was super relieved. That's an understatement just to say. To YouTube. Thank you, YouTube team. Thank you for making it this far in the video, and have an excellent day.